This is a quick 10-minute video of a demo of YouBIM. In here, I have just logged into my account. You can do it through the browser in Google Chrome or Safari. As you can see here, you can have several sites, different buildings between the sites, and we're going to review all this, which is a kind of COBI standard format of showing information. Over here, you can have as well a small widget with some tutorials how to perform certain actions in YouBIM. One of the premises behind the design is always to have a very intuitive and easy approach and access to all the information. That's why we have this tutorial here. In here, I can see also work orders assigned to me. But now I'll jump straight to it. The first use case would be to pretend that I'm a facility manager and I know I have a problem in one of my cooling towers. If I'm not sure which is the tag name of these cooling towers, I can just search here, cooling tower, and I'll get some results in the assets section. I'll just click any of them and I'll be taken straight to the 2D. In this case, as you can see, this is interactive 2D because of the models coming from Revit. In this case, I'll double click this cooling tower over here and I'll get a small pop-up with all the information. In here I have information that may come from Revit models or might also come from different sources. I can have a picture as well, and I can even see the systems this cooling tower belongs to. Now we'll go to the details. I'll see all the information that we've just seen, but I can also have documents attached to this cooling tower, like for example in a PDF or pictures. I can just click here and I get to download it. Then I come back over here, of course, all the data coming from Revit from different sources. But now the interesting thing would be to know where is this cooling tower located, how can I access it? That's when I click the 3D. In here, I get to see the cooling tower isolated with the same pop-up that we just seen. But for now, I need to see how can I access it. So I click over here and get a quick overview of the whole building. In this case, I can see that I can easily access through the staircase that it's here, so it will be okay. But now, a very interesting thing that I would like to see is which systems is this cooling tower tied to? When I'm performing any kind of maintenance, I would want to know which is the systems that I'm going to be affecting. I click over here, I can just select one and I can see the layout right away. This is pretty useful to understand how things are working and to understand that this would be the valve that I should shut down to work on this cooling tower. So I can double click over here and quickly create a work order asking someone to please shut down this valve. I can assign a class, which could be, for example, lubrication, calibration, some type of fix. In this case, it is a corrective work order, so I'm not adding any of that. I'm asking for high priority, and I'm going to assign it to this user. Please have it done by tomorrow. We also have the option to create PMs, so work orders and routines of work that have to be performed with some type of cadence. In here, I'll just click create, and the user will get an email that will contain a link that's going to take him straight to the bulb that he needs to shut down in the 3D, so he knows exactly which bulb he has to work with. That will be the first use case of YouBIM. Now we're going to go back to the work orders. Here, of course, you can work with this whole filter over here, and I'm going to pretend now that I'm a facility manager and I want to check what is it that I have to work in. First, I have all the work orders assigned to this building and I want to see it in the 3D. In here, I get all the building color-coded according to the priority of the work orders. But now I'll go back here and I want to know what is it that is waiting for my approval. So I just click over here and I can see 3 work orders that are waiting for my approval. Come over here and I can quickly identify them on the 3D. That is another use case. Now, let's quickly pretend that I have to change the lighting fixture in the electrical room. In this case, I have several ways of accessing it. And the powerful thing about YouBIM is that I can come straight here, double click on the lighting fixture, and I can have all the information before even going to the site. If I click here in view detail, I can have all the information in here, for example, in a PDF. So I know who's the manufacturer, what's the model number, I can check for spares, and even if I don't have one, I can see all the specs to buy something similar that I can put over there. So that's another use case of how you can quickly in YouBIM identify everything and save time because you don't have to go twice to the site. Now let's focus a little bit more on training. YouBIM is a very powerful tool for training. For example, in here we can quickly identify several systems and see how they work between each other. In here, I can quickly isolate and I can double click any of the components part of these systems to understand a little bit deeper. And as we already seen, we could go back and see documents attached to it. We can also perform virtual walkdowns with YouBIM, SOP trainings, and any kind of theoretical training before even going to the site. So this is really powerful. For example, when you're working in mechanical rooms as the one that we're seeing right now, you can quickly identify each one of the elements, and even if you have several valves that are similar to each other, you can find exactly the one that you have to work with. Now let's go back and let's work on the last use case that we're going to see in this demo. The last use case will be related to troubleshooting. One of the good things of using YouBIM, whether it is as a standalone or as part of another integration with another system, is the visual part for quickly troubleshooting. Let's pretend in this case that I have a leak in cold water. And please imagine that if you're working in an industrial environment or in a manufacturing environment, each troubleshooting must be done fast because downtime correlates directly to loss of money, of course. So let's pretend I have a leak in cold water, for example, and I come straight here and I identify my cold water system. So quickly I can see that there are several valves that I could shut down in order to fix this. But if this is not enough to understand which one I should shut down, I can go even a step further. I could come over here to the asset list, which of course will be already filtered by everything on top, so it's already showing only cold water components. And I could go one step further, as I mentioned, and click on critical components. This will filter only the critical components from this system, so I can come over here and I can see which are the valves that are critical in the system, so I know that I should shut any of 3 of them in order to fix my leak as soon as possible. So that's an overview of YouBIM. There's different other things that you could do. You could work with critical components, so you could group your equipment in the way that you find it more useful. We also have work orders and preventive maintenance, so you could do all the tracking in here in YouBIM. In case that you have any other question, please don't hesitate to ask us. Thank you so much for watching the demo.